All right, hey, this is Act 2 of the podcast. We're getting right back into it. If you missed Act 1, go back and listen to that thing. Otherwise, this isn't going to make any sense. Okay, see ya. All right, but I don't fault anybody. I don't fault her for stepping on the gas. She didn't do anything wrong. She was just leaving. I don't fault the ICE agent for telling her to get out of the vehicle. And I do 100% believe that the ICE idiot who shot her did feel that his life was in jeopardy. I do believe that. That's what I believe. That's just me. But anyway, that guy hasn't had anything happen to him. I think he's just free. I think he can just go and shoot others. He can just shoot people. By the way, Darla checking in, looking adorable. This viral video is called ICE versus ICE. So you got ICE guy here. Now, most guys who are in ICE are fat slobs. They're not really in shape. They're not like essentially, these aren't like the prime USDA grade beef. These are wannabes. Picture like Sexy Voice Andrea's husband. Like that level of law enforcement. Little loose in the cage, tubby. That type of body type. That's what this guy is. And he's running after a Mexican here. And in this video, by the way, I love the homes in this area of Minnesota. Like that, when that lady got shot in the face, the homes in that whole lesbian community were amazing. This slob ICE guy is running after a bunch of Somalis in Minnesota because 99% of the population of Minnesota is from Somalia. So this guy's running after Somalians, but he's on ICE. So it's called ICE versus ICE. This is what happens to the guy. Okay, now you saw it, but you got to hear it. Let me play it again. Okay, so he falls on his ass, and all these Somalians and the locals start laughing in his face. And then the guy walks away in shame. Now, I wouldn't do this. If I'm in Minnesota, I'm days away from the last incident where the chick was driving away and then the ICE guy shot her in the face. I'm not there. I would not be there because this guy could very easily just go back to his car and get out his M50 and start shooting these bastards. He probably, in his mind, is like, that's probably a better idea. He's probably like, it's more justified. I'm more justified in shooting these assholes for laughing at me than the guy who shot Renee Good. I like how there's video of the guy shooting the video. There's so many cameras. This guy's right on top of him. I'm opening fire. If I'm the guy there, I'm driving over I'll hunt him down like in the opening scene of The Sopranos. I'm Tony.
Enough!
I'm so pissed off if I'm that guy. Tyler says he could have shot all of them because he was afraid for his life after slipping. Yeah, and that would have worked. If he said, look, they were laughing at me, so that was threatening. So I shot them all. And then they would say that he's in the hospital for a brain bruise or a brain bleed or a concussion or something like that, and he's not arrested. Donko says, I just find it interesting that we want to support some laws, but not others. I don't know what you're talking about. Tofa says both sides support the laws that benefit them the most. Rebecca says, Tofa's the state attorney general can still file charges. I think they're gathering as much video evidence as they can to compile a case. If I'm the state attorney general in Minnesota, though, I wouldn't even bother. Because if anything were to happen to that guy who shot Renee Good, Trump's just going to say, no, he's pardoned. It's fine. There's no way that that'll stick. All right. I want you to get one of these hoodies. It's not as nice of a hoodie as the one I'm wearing now from Shoreliner Striping, but they have sponsored my entire Defector apparel campaign. What's great about the hoodies, which you can get for $34, they're on sale. Was $42, now $34. Is the different colors you can get. Now, the black is fucking sweet, but I think this one might be my favorite. It's called Vintage Heather. I love that one. It really pops. This one is great too. Charcoal Heather. All of these colors work. My God. Even the burgundy. This is navy. This is colony blue. That works for a dude or a chick. When you get larger than extra large, they add a little bit to the cost. So a 2X is $35, 3X is $36, 4X is $37, 5X is $37. For me, I would wear the large, but I'm a little buddy. Now, not only can you get the hoodie, but if you scroll down, hey, you can get the T-shirt. That has the Shoreliners logo on the back. How about the socks? There's nobody going to buy the fucking socks. No one's going to buy the socks, the bag, the shorts. Someone might buy the hat. Kids T-shirt, nobody's going to buy that. The coffee mug, somebody will buy that. So half of this stuff is stupid. The T-shirt is cool. The kids' T-shirt works. The hat works. And the coffee mug works. And the hoodie works. Shorts, bag, and socks blow. Of that $34 you spend, I'm not kidding you, I see $2. So I'm not making any money on these. Nick says, I think I bought the Vintage Heather or the burgundy yesterday. I saw that. I got my $2. Numerous comments about EZ. Twitch is fucking up again. Please let me know when it comes back. RT Saul Father writes, my hope is that sooner or rather than later we stop the left versus right bullshit and become we the people only. Then we can hold those in office accountable. Yeah, that's not going to happen. It's a two-party system. Alan says, I will buy the shorts if you put the word juicy on the booty. I would love that. Tyler says you get $2. Yeah. Well, you got to understand, the platform, they build the platform for me. They, there's the cost of making it. So let's say if it's $34 and I get $2, the rest of that, the $32, goes to the apparel, the cost of making the apparel, the logo, the printing, the support of the website, and they have to make some money. So no, it's not a lot at all. Of course, I'm having a sale right now. It's normally $42. If it was $42, I'd probably get $350. But again, I'm not in this for the money. I just want people to have my gear. It's just another way to spread the word of the show. All right. Thank you to my great sponsors that help make this show possible, particularly my friend Frank Fuss. Now, if you need more information about how you are supposed to get your health care through the marketplace, I want you to go to appointmentwithfrank.com. That's appointmentwithfrank.com. And Frank Fuss will help you. He is the expert on the Affordable Care Act, otherwise known as Obamacare, or healthcare.gov. There have been some changes to it. You probably should bang on his door if you need some help. People who take care of their insurance through the Affordable Care Act are self-employed folks, people who are in between jobs, or perhaps their employer does not offer health care. You can still get health care. Now, prior to 2026, you may have already had health care through the Affordable Care Act, and then January 1 comes, and all of a sudden, you're paying a lot more for your health care. That's because you didn't modify your plan. The law has changed. You don't need to know about it. All you need to know about is Frank Fuss, and then he will help you navigate this. Go to appointmentwithfrank.com. That's appointmentwithfrank.com. Impact Power Sports is your Yamaha dealership in West Michigan. If you want a Yamaha golf cart, they can help you. Go to impactpowersportsmi.com or just visit them in Rockford. Perhaps you're not looking for a golf cart. Perhaps you want an ATV, UTV, side-by-side, motorcycle, e-bike, scooter, go-kart. One of those one-wheeled things you stand on and ride around being annoying. They have all that. They also have a full-service department. If you want more information or just want to drop in and say, hey, do so. Impact Power Sports in Rockford, Michigan, online at impactpowersportsmi.com. Yesterday on the Patreon, I was talking to you about Josh and Jace. These two dudes started making videos as they were touring around the U.S. They're from the UK, and it's kind of like they're experiencing the U.S. from their perspective as folks visiting. So they got their visas, they show up in the U.S., and they make these videos, one of which I really got a laugh out of because they're here in West Michigan. And so they experienced Lake Michigan, and this is how they did it. And look, like, for example, Nick the electrician, he can't stand these guys because they're goofballs. They're totally wacky. But for some reason, I like them a lot.
We are about to see the Great Lakes for the very first time. Let's do it. Look at the size of these waves. What on... Oh, God. What? We're not even at the lake yet. Look. What? Oh! The size... What is... Oh, no. Seagulls. You're telling me that's not a sea? That's not a lake gull, is it? A lake is a lake gull! There is no way you're telling me that is a lake. That is the Pacific Ocean, mate.
It's hilarious. Now, they post, tell us what to do in the area. Now, they have millions of people that follow them. And apparently most of them are here because... you look at the comments of any one of their posts, area restaurants are like, come here and eat. We'll serve you. Well, I mean, the area is rolling out the red carpet for these guys. They are so popular, it's ridiculous. And all they did was started putting videos up, acting like a couple of goofs, and it's amazing. They make a living doing this. They just post the videos, several a day. They get tons of views. They live off the money. They travel to the next location. That's fucking great. I love that. The overhead is their time. What they're doing is creating, and there's no expenses. I mean, obviously the travel, but that's covered because the money that the videos generate. It's fantastic. I love that. They announced that they were going to be at Hope College for the Hope versus Adrian basketball game. As they said, Devos Fieldhouse. It is DeVos. And so they were there for that. Everybody was just, they had the whole place eating out of the palms of their hands. The local TV station did a story about them. And by the way, they were on Channel 13 this morning doing the weather. I got to see that.
Very welcoming. They hear the accent and they go, "Where are you from? Tell me more." We love it.
You may not know who they are, but you may have seen their videos all over social media. That was Josh and Jace, and they are two social media stars from England, and this week they are traveling across West Michigan.
The two have millions of followers online, and they have received thousands of likes, making stops at businesses in Saugatuck, Holland, and in Grand Rapids. Well, tonight the two continued their journey in West Michigan by attending their very first college basketball game at Hope. And during halftime, they got the chance to shoot 2 half-court shots.
Yeah, they missed, but they say they are having a blast on their adventure. This one was close. Look at that. Yeah.
Oh,
we had a chance to speak with Josh and Jace tonight about their trip so far and what brought them to West Michigan.
Well, it's a good place to start. Right near the coast, we're going to work our way up and we're going to come back down to Detroit. It was a good starting point, but we was told to come in January was not a good idea. Well, that's what makes for good content.
But to be honest, we want to go everywhere anyway. So
yeah.
We was always going to hit the West Coast regardless.
We feel like we're in a movie, don't we?
Yeah, it's like back home, obviously we don't, college, this just isn't a thing. So it's only something you'll see in Hollywood movies, so you don't think it's real. And then you come out here and it is real. Seeing Lake Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
Probably seeing one of the Great Lakes for the first time, that probably at the minute is top of the.
And we refuse to believe that is actually a lake. We think everyone in Michigan is playing a prank and it's an ocean.
Yeah.
There's no way that's a lake.
We'll get to the bottom of it. There is a lot of potholes.
A lot of potholes.
Which is why I understand now why Michigan likes the snow. It fills the potholes.
Snow! I like that. I want to know where the funding is, because it needs to be going in the potholes. I've got whiplash.
You're opening a can of worms now, eh?
Yeah. Let's get them potholes filled.
Yes. All right, the two say they will continue the trip across the state in the coming days and finish in Detroit.
I want to see them on that fucking bridge. The Mackinac Bridge. It's massive. Nick in the chat is not a fan of these boys. He says, I want them deported. Man Bun Chris says, LOL, how cool you called it yesterday that someone from the news should get them on. And now they're all over. I think we were all thinking the same thing at the same time. Nick says, these assholes are from a literal island in the Atlantic Ocean. Why are they acting impressed? Well, I think what it was is their definition of a lake. You know, it is a lake. We all know that. But to them, a lake is not that. Hey, this is Eric Zane, and your information is being sold online. You know, the personal stuff. Search your own name. It's surprising what's out there. That's because people are taking your information and they're selling it. I've got a way to make all of your personal information disappear. You are not for sale. Whether you agreed to it or not, that information is available for people to buy and sell. Not okay. It's 100% true. Data brokers make billion selling your private details, and you get nothing. You don't even get a choice. Aura lets you fight back. AURA. They remove your personal data from broker sites and keep it off. Aura also alerts you fast if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura is more than just data broker removal. It's a full digital security suite that protects every part of your life online. Aura gives you a VPN to stay private, antivirus to block threats, a password manager to keep logins safe, and spam call protection to cut off the scammers. Aura also scans the dark web for your most sensitive info like your social security number, bank logins, and passwords, and notifies you instantly if they are exposed. And if your identity is ever stolen, you're backed up by up to $5 million in insurance and 24/7 U.S.-based fraud support to help you recover quickly. And right now, you can try Aura free for 14 days when you visit aura.com/remove. AURA.com/remove. That's enough time for Aura to start removing your personal information from data broker sites. Sign up today at aura.com/remove and get the peace of mind that your privacy, identity, and finances are safeguarded. AURA.com/remove. Certain terms apply. See the site for details. Shut up, Nick. Why can't you just enjoy shit? Why can't you just have a good time? It's okay to be like, this is fun. I like this. You asshole. Stevie says he's way jealous. No, I don't think he's jealous. I think he's just a cock. He's not jealous at all. He wants for nothing. He's fucking loaded. Rebecca says, I want them to drive across the bridge and record it, especially if it's a windy day, and they need to go over the grates. It's one thing if you go over the cement side, the cement lane on the bridge. Go over the grates. Then that noise. Rebecca says, I want to see their reactions to Lake Superior, too. They need to go in to Lake Superior. It's probably quite frozen, though, at this point, I would guess. Well, all right. I like those guys. Black Belt Nick says, most lakes don't disappear into the horizon. Yeah, it's the lakes are fantastic. We take them for granted here. All right. We have your latest pedophile in the great state of Michigan on the West Coast here. I wonder if those two, Josh and Jace, can do a tour of the recent pedophile activity. Every day this week, we have had a new local pedophile to feature on this show. And they all get busted the same way. They start communicating with somebody online. It turns out it's a cop. This one is Noah de Hollander, and a young guy. He's a former teacher, so he's going to school, and then he starts touching kids during class or some shit. This is so strange.
Former middle school teacher at West Ottawa High School could spend 2 years in prison after pleading no contest to sexual conduct charges involving 3 students. This morning, a judge sentenced Noah de Hollander to a minimum of 16 months in prison to a maximum of 2 years.
How so light? How can that be such a light sentence? You touch a child and you get a slap on the wrist?
The charges stem.
However, he's going to be popular in prison. This dude, oh my God. Young, fresh-faced, blonde. He's going to get so much dick.
From allegations he inappropriately touched 3 12-year-old students at the school between January and September of 2024. In November, de Hollander entered a no contest plea to the 3 charges. In exchange, prosecutors dropped 3 other CSC charges. Okay,
that's it. It's the plea thing, which I think that happens to keep, the system moving at a fast pace. The more that you can get someone into the system and get them out, get them into prison for extended time, in this case, 16 to 24 months, I think prosecutors would do that. Because I think that there are so many pedos to deal with that sometimes you have to devote more time to the even more sinister ones. Tyler says pedos all have usernames like Little Kid Lover 69. Exactly. Scott says they're going to blow out his butthole. Bread Bull Brain Chris says, and they always reoffend. Tophus says it's fucking ridiculous that these people don't get life or worse. Rebecca says, let's hope for some prison justice. There will be. It's going to be a rough 16 to 24 months. There's going to be so much dick. I would say that this guy will have more dick going into his butt than he has shitty prison food leaving it. My God. Back to the idea of people who aren't from here experiencing the area. Rebecca says, it's fun experiencing Michigan through fresh eyes. When my relatives are here from the Netherlands, they are always in awe of the sheer size of everything. They explore like little kids. Oh, yeah, that's fun. When they're like, you live here? I wish that I had I guess I don't know any of my relatives that live in Armenia, but I'm sure that there are some. I don't even know that there are. I should do that genealogy thing to determine that. But I would love to get relatives here to say, yeah, this is where we live. All right, so that is the latest creeper. Speaking of creeper, Daniel Stern, who was Marv on Home Alone, he was busted charging with soliciting a hooker in a California motel room. There is a Mrs. Stern. I'm just always curious as to the reaction. I kind of wish that when people are busted, that they say, all right, these are the charges. You may spend this amount of time, or this will be your punishment, but we will reduce the punishment if you record your interaction with your significant other. You know, if that could be on the table. I'm always interested in how the other half handles this nonsense. Stern's an older guy, too. He made the solicitation in December at a motel room in the community of Camarillo in Ventura County. I don't know where the fuck that is. He wasn't charged until Tuesday of this week. He's 68 years old. How would you like to be the prostitute that 68-year-old Daniel Stern wants to have sex with you? He left Hollywood with his wife after he made the money that he made in Home Alone. I don't know, maybe he's really good with his money. Not everybody blows all their money. Whatever money he made, he saved it. And so he bought a farm, and all he's been doing is tending cattle and growing produce and living his life. Got out of Hollywood, cattle, produce, hookers. I guess he was in the Wonder Years. I don't remember him in that. He was also in City Slickers and the film Breaking Away. That's an old one. They're all old ones. He claimed he made enough money, he didn't have to work because of his success in the 80s and 90s. He said he had an obligation to take advantage of his good fortune. An obligation to take advantage of your... That's an obligation? That's not an obligation. An obligation is like taking care of your family members. who are sick or something, or not buying hookers. I need more info on the bust. How did it happen? Was it the type where he was soliciting a hooker that was actually a cop? Do we really need to be? I mean, I don't think we live in a day and an age. Who goes ahead and like tries to pick up hookers on the street? Aren't there apps where you can just hit a button and there's someone on the other end of the app who wants dick? I don't think you need to be soliciting prostitutes in this day and age. There doesn't have to be a cash transaction. The transaction is your dick or your butt. It doesn't matter. Nick says, I think he is a really famous art sculptor as well. Well, yeah, you would know. I mean, I know you're big on art. Yeah, Piano Fingerbanger says he was the narrator on The Wonder Years. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, who the fuck goes out and gets a hooker? If I wanted to right now, I could hit a button on an app and I could be blowing somebody in like 30 minutes. Tophus says some grade A sarcasm there. I think he's referring to Nick, something Nick said. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in the chat. I'm trying to keep up. I'm trying my best. Anyway, Daniel Stern busted for prostitution. What an asshole. These two kids are dead. They're 14. They're dumb as fuck. They were someplace about an hour north of Orlando on a beach. Mom and dad are like, where's George? Where's Derek? I don't know. Call him. And both phones, nothing. So they got worried. They found him buried. They were in a hole. These idiots were digging in the same spot, and fucking sandy beach. It went down like 5 feet into what's known as sugar sand. I don't know. Picture like a fresh bag of brown sugar. You know how that moves. That heavy type of falls like an avalanche. These idiots dug a hole, and they're in it. And then, well, it ate them up. So mom and dad are looking for them, and they find their bikes and like their sandals, their cell phones. They're like, what the fuck is going on here? And then it dawned on them, well, they're probably in this hole. And they were. Nice. Unbelievable. Found buried 5 feet underneath the surface at Sportsman Park in Inverness, Florida. That is ridiculous and horrible. These two boys shared a bond that went beyond their friendship. They were inseparable, full of life, curiosity, and dreams for the future. There is a GoFundMe. Now, this, to me, is the type of GoFundMe that'll probably be pretty successful. Not really. I thought it'd be more. See, you got to have your sights set higher. Cole says no one with brains saw them doing that and told them to stop. No. You notice how you never hear girls doing stuff like this? Chicks are smarter than dudes. Guys never do this, or chicks never do stuff like this. It's always dudes. They are just shy of $40,000 of the $40,000 goal. And they should have made it like 40 million. They'd have that. So just awful. My God. Yeah, if you see somebody digging a hole, you want to get them the fuck out of it. Pronto. Alan says, local dumb fuck kids bury themselves alive. Maureen says, what a horrible way to die. Absolutely. There's not much worse, frankly. Jesus. Nick says he actually had an art prize entry. I don't know if I believe that, Nick. When it comes to you actually entering something an art prize, you knowing that Daniel Stern is a famous art sculptor seems dubious, but I don't know where you pulled that out of. And then here you are saying that you actually entered art prize. If that's true, that's another layer of you that no one knew about. But you're such a fuckface that I cannot accept that. You're actually going to have to prove it to me. I think you're fucking with me because that's something you would do. You would definitely fuck with me. Anytime I see anything you write on here, I always look at it with a raised eyebrow. I don't trust you. Jesus. There's no way. All right. Be thinking of an asshole of the day because I'm out of stuff to talk about. While you do that, I'll mention Kuiper Tree Care. They are in West Michigan. If you have an unwanted tree, that's who you call. Please mention me. Their website, Kuiper, KuiperTreeCare.com. Kuiper, treecare.com. Call or text 616-828-8225. They are the best. Unwanted trees, stump grinding, storm damage cleanup, tree trimming, tree risk assessment in case there's something wrong. Hey, what's wrong with this tree? It's got AIDS. Oh, my God, cut it down. They'll take care of you at Kuiper Tree Care. Kuiper, treecare.com. Find them online at find them online there or call them or text 616-828-8225. If you have a Duramax engine or an Allison transmission or both on your truck and it's not working right, there's only one place to take it in West Michigan. That is Merchant Automotive. Online at merchant-automotive.com. If you're in the area, they'll fix it for you. If you're not in the area and you're a DIY pro, join the hundreds of thousands of people who buy stuff from merchant-automotive.com. You can shop their hundreds of kits that they have available for you in servicing your engine or your transmission on your truck. Merchant-automotive.com. All right. Man Bun Chris says, I just switched to video and got a sunburn from that hoodie. Tim always wears that one to the fields. Well, yeah, it's a Shoreliner's hoodie. It's part of the deal. Nick says, asshole of the day, overstimulated British duo. That would be Josh and Jace. No, I love Josh and Jace, you dick. Alan says, I don't know why you're questioning Nick. His grandpa died in the Holocaust. Yeah, I remember that joke. Yeah, that's why I don't trust Nick. In fact, I'm a little lean on my asshole of the day suggestion, so I'm just going to make it Nick. Because there's no doubt he's fucking with me by suggesting that he entered something in art prize. You idiot. All right, folks. Thank you so much for being here. I'll join you a little later on the Patreon bonus podcast. And, of course, today is a Big Fraud Thursday. Yes. You can join me at patreon.com/Eric Zane. Sign up for 7 days free. That's right, 7 days free. You can enjoy Who Are These Free Beers tonight. And, of course, the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast a little later. Have a good one, folks. Thank you, and bye-bye.